Welcome back to another episode of Faders of the Lost Art live at Namm 2026. We're here on the showroom floor getting it. Amazing day today, end of day 2. I got a star-studded cast with me. This is like some heavy hitter shit right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, whew, it's been crazy. It's been a crazy day, but this is probably the craziest podcast of the day. So thank you guys for showing up. A big shout out to Dutch and Dutch. Thank you so much for hosting us. Honorary shout out to our boys at Cloud Mics, Arturia, Odyssey, Steven Slate, VSX. You know what I'm saying? All love, all family, you know. But without further ado, let me introduce my co-host to you, the one and only Teezio. If y'all don't know him, if y'all don't know anybody on this panel, you are fucking up. You should know these people. Teezio, killing the game from Lil Nas X to Breezy to doing tons of stuff. I'm underselling this. Stu White, Beyoncé, dude, credit list is just crazy. MSM, credit list is crazy. Kalen, Mixwave, but his credit list is crazy.
You got two things. You only got one.
That's true.
That's true. It's like
Bainz, Young Thugger, YSL, and a bunch more. Cardi, you feel me? Killing it.
He's the largest.
Game. The biggest.
He's the largest in the game.
How y'all boys doing?
What is up?
What up? Thanks for having us.
How's it going?
Yeah, how y'all been? How's Namm going so far?
Good.
Pretty good.
Vibes? They got you running around everywhere?
Yeah. But I've been waiting for this one because we couldn't really talk shit at Avid or like at the other shit. We're ready to talk shit now.
Let's go. Let's
Exactly.
shit. So
Let's let you Avid. We need that party back.
I was professional on my first time.
What type of party back are you talking about? Oh, the one that we're not doing this year that they usually do every year. We need it back.
Yeah, there's no Avid party.
That baggy.
Yo, these speakers though, this might be the most insane thing I've seen in that. Like,
I agree.
Speakers,
Yeah,
man.
they look like they're just photoshopped.
right?
Like someone was like,
a
we need a
vector
bigger
file.
speaker. And he just,
Yeah, it just went like this.
It's like, can we design a bigger speaker? And he literally just grabbed the original speaker image and just stretched it. He's like, look, think of this.
Low key, that's the exact conversation I had with them. So I was sitting with one of the owners in Amsterdam one day, and he brought me some speakers. I had a session in Amsterdam, and I was like, man, these KRKs ain't cutting it. I know some people in Amsterdam, my boys. So they pulled up on me with the speakers, and we're sitting down having some wine or whatever. And he's like, man, if you could design some bigger speakers, some mains, because we almost put, because I had a Street Runner in there, and we almost put 2 pairs together because, you know, DJ Khaled, he wanted to loud. So if you could design a bigger, a mains, what would you do? I said, look, dude, you have a winning design. Just put it in AutoCAD and blow it up. So I literally, I swear to God.
That's exactly what they did.
Yep.
They look like
they
toys.
They killed it, dude. So I suggested a 312 system because it's still manageable, and having 612s in a system, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he goes, what about a 15? I said, look, if you could do that, let's do it. You know? So here we are. They pulled out the triple 15s in their bid.
Jesus.
Yeah, right. And all these come with a bass extension.
Can we play something on the master?
Yeah.
I'll play it.
So we also got a bass extension. So it's going to be like 3 or 6 more 15s.
I heard they come with a free XLR too.
I want to hear part.
No, you got to pay extra.
Damn.
Bainz gets first dibs. He called me.
Partition. We'll play Partition.
No, you're definitely playing Partition after. That's why when I want to show my studio to people, I play Partition, and I have it set at the back of the room, and the whole fucking room just shakes like that, and I'm like, speakers are fire, right?
Yeah.
That's how we all tune our room.
Partition. It's literally like an amazing mix. Like vocally, it's not like hurting your ears. It's literally perfect. And the fact that, how old is it? 10.
Yeah, it's 2014.
So 10, more than 10 years old, and it's literally flawless.
And you weren't in like a perfect studio environment, too, right? You did that.
What's up?
You weren't like in a perfect studio environment.
Well, I did.
Remember, right?
Well, I recorded the vocals at Jungle, and then that's when I did the basic vocal EQ. It was just like EQ7, R-Comp, CLA, Black, 1176, and then like Waves DS or something. It's all mixed with the masters, but it's super fucking simple. It's a 251 original. Just not, it's the quintessential don't overthink it, you know, and, the percussion on it, was recorded, by Justin Timberlake via Chris Gabi, GOAT mixer engineer. And then I did all the low end shit was done in a hotel room in Adelaide, Australia on some Genelecs, and I had a little Adams sub or whatever, and then I just kind of set it up, got it where it's like sounded decent on music that I knew, and I just did and messed with the 808, and that's when I did a mult to the 808 on the bottom, and then filtered it in a way where it accentuated that bottom frequency. And then
Right in the center.
yeah, like well that one was the bottom,
Oh,
like,
okay.
like the 30, 40, like super sub shit. And then I sidechained it to the kick, which I don't do that anymore. I'm not into sidechaining like 808s anymore. I don't think it's not my favorite way of doing it nowadays. But for that, it works and it made it a thing, you know, and it's fun, man. But Mike Dean shout out Mike Dean. That's his 808. Yeah.
Hey, well, shout out Mike Dean, baby.
Dude.
What are your favorite new plugins, guys? What's the new sauce? Everybody, well, let me start. Everybody, I'm going to take this so nobody else will say it. Everybody's been talking about the VT7. Game changer over here.
You could do a little soft announcement how the VT5 is just around the corner, the EQ. So they sound so good together too on the mix bus, man.
That's awesome.
The fern that he has, like I'll put my music, like bass, drums, kick, music, no vocals. I'll put that in there and I'll just hit it. And it just, you know, when you get a mix and it's like too dynamic, you're like, how can I just reduce these? It's just punching too hard.
Yeah.
You throw that on there and you just let it hit like 2 dB, minus 2 dB, and like it puts everything in pocket, but without the breathing that you get.
It's like a
Yeah.
better version of the Verimute.
Yeah, because it's that
Yeah.
PWM compression is so unique the way it works, and it just retains the transients. It just gives you a little hug and glue without just changing it.
And at first you think like, is it bringing the volume down? But then when you A/B it on and off, you're like, oh shit, it actually inflated the mix.
Right.
It's kind of strange because you're expecting to compress and then here everything is smaller, but it sounds bigger for some reason. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't.
I'd used it on a piano ballad recently, and it was like piano ballads can be tricky sometimes just because it's like, okay, what's going to push the mix bus compression, you know? Like,
Right.
and typically it's like vocal, so it's like piano, vocal, and then P bass comes in, live bass comes in, and like second verse, I think, or whatever, comes in later in the song. And so but that fucking compression, man, was just like insanely gluey, but in a way where it doesn't like make it like feel like you said,
It's breathing.
it's not pumping.
Yeah.
Which I typically like an SSL type compressor, but that's a pumper. That'll give you exciting,
Exactly.
you know, like dynamics. Yeah. Mixwave.
No, thank you guys for the support, man. I'm glad you did.
Bro, literally,
Appreciate it.
everybody in the industry, everybody that's a heavy hitter in the game is literally like, that's their first, you know.
I think that's like the next wave for the mix bus, I think, because it's just so easy with that. And then the VT5 after it, it's like the low end sounds massive. The top end is clean.
She's on vocals more than mix bus.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And it's low latency, right? So you could do it.
It doesn't have
I
any.
there by accident one day, and then it didn't leave.
The VT7, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It
amazing.
wasn't like I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
I just stuck something on it, and I was like, "This is fucking cool."
There's some plugins that don't do a good job, and this for some reason does an excellent job of recreating what it does.
But fuck plugins for a second. When I first met him and I went to his spot, I saw his setup and it like blew my mind. This was like 4 or 5 years ago now, and I still tried to recreate it. So he has 3 converters.
Had
Yeah, his whole mix of the masters was about how it's all
It's
gone.
4 now.
It's 3 or 4 converters, and the mix is coming in, and you know you can like you're mixing on the most transparent one, but then at the end of the mix, he has 4 like oxes with all of them coming back into Pro Tools, so you can A/B the Lavery or Burl or the links that he had.
And see what you like.
that clocked for a 10M as well, which I love.
See, that's where like the actual technical shit behind being able to do that, the clocking and all that shit. I was just like, wait, how did you do this? And he was like,
No,
I did this. I did.
I have to give a shout to Tom at KMR. It's like a shop where we have in London. That guy he let my nerdiness go wild. He's like, right, what do you want to do? And I said, it'd be nice if I could use all of these rather than having to patch every time.
Right, is that right?
Oh, you have a dangerous 2-box. You can have 2 outputs and then just molt another one. So now you've got 3. And normal them into 3 different inputs and converters. And I just have 3 auxes in Pro Tools and I just unmute the one I like. And that goes to my mix bus. And it worked. And sometimes I shouldn't say this, but sometimes when an artist would like go backwards and forwards on revisions so many times about they couldn't figure out what was right, I just send them 3 different converters and say, ABC, leave that. You've got a week to decide. And because it's such a minute difference, they can't figure out what they're hearing, but it buys me some time. I'm like, all right, you're going to listen to that backwards and forwards for 2-3 days.
Right.
And sometimes the difference between a Neve MBC and a Labry Gold is
The difference.
the difference that made them go, what did you do? And I don't know the answer.
We didn't do anything. You just gave him a different conversion.
Yeah,
I'm not going to tell them that.
Well, yeah.
because
I didn't do anything.
most people like I love my bro because I'm used to it. But I'd love to try a Lavery or I'm always like, I don't know. I don't know if it'll work for everything. And I've just spent so many years learning this, so I don't want to change. But like that idea is crazy.
I got a question for you. When you're trying different converters in that way, are you playing with like how hard you're clipping each one? And it's part of the way it clips.
Yeah, massively.
Yeah, massively.
They go so that when it hits the aux, it's then going to a master aux or a master bus with my plugins on it. So that's also changing as well. All those plugins on the return react differently depending on.
Got it. Yeah, makes sense.
I used to have a Lynx Hilo, and I'd put the Better Maker before it. I would match the clipping curve of the Better Maker to the lather as close as I could, so I could go between them two. That's my like soft lead version. Then I had the MBC, and I had a Prism, and I had anything, you name it. At one point, I had it, and it was in this list. I missed that rig, but
Bro, it was insane. Like, so his room, it had a wall of speakers, and like
It was like
the head
guitar setter.
It was insane. And now he has a Trinoff system and the Crane Song Phoenix, like it's great. I mean, the monitor controller. Now each speaker has its own Trinoff setting that you need to engage before you do it.
Right.
So,
because I didn't
bro, Teezio, you would go crazy. I know how basic you like things. You would absolutely lose
I'd be like,
your
throw
mind.
everything away. Just give me these speakers. Like,
I'm there now. I've gone the opposite. I'm in nothing now. I have nothing. But at the time, it was like, I didn't want anyone to tell me something was good. I needed to find out myself.
yeah, I was
Love
like,
that. Yeah.
if they tell you it's wrong, you're like, it's impossible. I have 15 sets of speakers.
Yeah,
It sounds great on
I've
all.
done that. I've done it. I've took it apart. I've measured it. I've got the guys downstairs because I had a tech team. My studio was inside Funky Junk.
I was inside of it.
So no, it's in a dealer. So it's like being inside
Funky
vintage.
Junk is like their vintage.
Yeah.
So you
Bro,
imagine
imagine
the
the
cheat
cheat
code.
code.
It was the biggest cheat code. I'd go downstairs and come up with Cortex, LA2As.
Whatever
just to
you
borrow.
wanted. Yeah, just
Sometimes
borrow.
I'd post on Instagram, you lot think I bought it. I haven't. I just stole it from
So you,
on my lunch break.
his studio was just at the showroom.
It was insane. It was
It
insane.
really was.
Genius. That's so cool.
They helped me get that, what you were saying about Trinoff. I didn't like the converters in Trinoff. So I wanted to use the converters in the Avocen. I love the Crane Song. I love Quantum 2s. So I just took my Lynx Aurora AES outs into Trinoff, 3 different profiles for the speakers, 3 different AES outputs into the Crane Song. So every time you want to change your speakers, you have to change AES input. It was convoluted, complicated.
Yeah.
But I got my converter every time that I wanted when I was monitoring.
It was insane. Like when he explained it, because I had all these questions and like everything I asked, he was like, "This is a great question. That's how I did this." I was like, "Yo, this is insane." It just blew my mind, and I was like,
Yeah, it's like,
"I'll never do it again."
no, of course.
But
But you did it.
now.
The thing is, the client, we deal with so much stress just alone from the client, the manager, the files, whatever. It's like to sit there and have to deal with a whole nother thing. It's just like, you know what? Fucking, I'm already dealing with enough shit.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just like every single
But
second. It's like today I was doing notes and I was printing. And as it's printing, they're texting me more notes, and I stop the bounce and I do the notes, and then I'm printing again. They text me more notes. I'm like, when is it going to stop?
It's like when you have something mastered 4 times, and now they're singing into their iPhone and texting it to you, being like, "All right, put that in there, change the line." I've got children.
Like we're gonna cut we're gonna cut the first line on the phone, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
I've done it.
But don't you think that this way, don't you find that the way that you're talking,
I hate it.
it's gone.
Don't do
It's
that.
boring.
Yeah,
So like we become like robots now.
yeah, we become robots.
That's
Yeah,
the part that I miss.
We're just, just like smile and grin, make it happen. Is kind of, but the simplifying, I mean, I remember when I got into it, I was very much like, just let me try every mic in the studio and like, make notes about what makes this one sound good on this or and all the things. So I know my tools, so I know what all my crayons do. But then it's like you a certain point with these big artists, man. It was like in the car doing shit, fucking wherever, man. This is like, and it just becomes about simplicity and speed and just like not overcomplicating things. So I'm curious, what did you land on after you went down the rabbit hole with all those converters?
Now I just have I literally do have a pair of Dutch and Dutch, a pair of little speakers like KH80s, and headphones.
Okay.
And no equipment, nothing.
Oh, the little.
Are you in the box?
I'm in the box. Yeah.
I'm in the box as well. Yeah,
It's
just
not
made
fun,
it
but
easier.
In the box.
This is what I was saying. It's a bit boring though. I'm not gonna lie, it's boring. I feel like I'm a computer operator.
Yeah.
I'm just doing admin. It's
Yeah.
good. I know what I'm doing. I can do it. Repeat. When I had tools, there was an element of just excitement. Like I used to like lights.
You're playing with stuff. Yeah.
I'm a kid, basically.
Yeah.
I go back to kid mode, and that is what made me like engineering as a kid.
That's a big part of it when you talk about, is analog gear worth it or not? Well, yeah, if you're doing an isolated AB, you could argue this and that. But the experience of turning knobs and being a little kid gets you stoked. You're in your right brain mode, and you're
Right.
that's probably the bigger thing in some ways, honestly.
I just feel like the clients just drive me crazy. I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna. You know, like when you're like, I want to play, and your mom's like, no, we have to go home. You're like, fuck this kid.
Yeah, and having said that, I'm also in the box.
Yeah, like it's just easier. Like, how many times do we get like, oh, I literally delivered mastering 3 times for a song. They replaced the verse after I've done Atmos and mastering. They're like, can we replace the verse?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, sure. But now I have to reprint stamps. I have to do it's like, it's faster when it's in the box. Because at the end of the day, they don't give a fuck about my VT5.
No one does.
They don't.
No one gives a shit.
They don't.
No.
I put a VT5 on. I'm like, where's the mix?
Yeah.
I don't care what
I
you
just
did
need
to
it now.
I just need it now.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, it gets to that point. They don't appreciate. It's not appreciated.
Yeah.
How many records has a VT5 sold? Versus how many
technically
records has
zero.
the artist sold?
Technically zero. Like I
That's
tell
the
people
joke.
all the time. Like it's
Your
not.
kick drum or your gear is not selling.
Also, a
songs.
good mix is also not selling the fucking record either. I don't give a shit.
Do you think you could have done this 5 years ago?
done what in the box? No.
Completely in the box.
That's the thing.
Because the
Having
power of the
gear is how you all. It's come down to
That's a
computer,
big.
but
I know you.
Partition's in the box, 2014.
But how big is that session?
Not big at all.
Now, I'm talking about we have 200 track songs, and it's like
Yeah.
I'm doing it on an M4 like nothing. Versus 5 years ago, there's no way a
Yeah,
laptop.
but don't you mean also like the process of having learned about all this analog gear has made you good enough to where you can do it with
100%
now?
Oh, and also
100%.
plugins are
Just
just
never
better.
did that.
Plug-
And
like
that's-
that's what I was trying to get at. Like I
Yes.
just like the in the box shit is not what it used. It's
No, no.
way better.
Yeah.
It's gotten way better.
Personally, I think I'm gonna correct the internet right now, but if anybody's watching, but Pro Tools 10 was warmer than when they went 64 bits, and I can prove it. I can
Is it
prove
because they have that heat shit on?
And I don't know why, but when I did Partition and Mix with the Masters, that was done in 10, and then they asked me if I could load it up in modern Pro Tools because they had it on their thing, and they didn't want to switch the computer if we didn't need to, and so I loaded up in modern Pro Tools, and it was like the gain staging was off. And now I'm using like EQ7, like Avid plugins like Arc-Comp, Waves de-esser, CLA. It's like basic shit, right? And then the gain staging was wrong. It was harsher. It was like a lot of things.
Wow.
And it wasn't hard to notice this. And then we loaded up in 10 and all was fine. And I may be in with the print or whatever. And it's like, I don't know what happened between that because it was still 32-bit float at 10, but it just had gone to 64-bit whatever.
Maybe you had the wrong metering mode.
The
K12.
metering mode thing is
Yeah, but they changed the math. They changed the math on this. When they rewrite the programs and they code,
They swear they should change it.
going in there.
And also, like, I definitely feel like if you work on an older system and the way that session works on that system, it's never going to just open up on a new system and just be the same. I just dealt with this yesterday. I had like
There's
had
voodoo.
masters. Like my session just kept causing issues. It was perfect amount of the ring.
And what do you think?
No comment.
Yeah. I mean, it's like,
So I saw this thing on YouTube. And
Sorry.
very inside jokes, very inside baseball shit.
Baseball shit.
No, inside
the
baseball.
meter thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you guys all think about the K12 meter thing?
I mean, honestly,
Pro Tools Classic.
I think the only way to do a true AB, if you're going to do the meter thing and you want to make it public, is you need to have multiple rigs. Then you need to sync them in time code, and you need to have one in one meter set and one in another meter set, and then you do an AB calibrated down to a tenth of a dB, of like where the converters are a tenth of a dB accurate at 10K, 1K, and 50 hertz. Now, that's how you do an AB. I did many ABs when I was an assistant. You AB it like that with multiple rigs synced, and you hear a difference, then, okay, there's a difference. But just stop. If you have time to hit stop, switch the meter, play it again. Your mind can.
There's no.
You can do all kinds of things. So I don't know if it's wrong. I just clicked the meter and played. And I was like, I didn't hear a difference.
Same here. That's as far as I got. I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, for sure. That's my opinion on it.
I'm
But
like so happy that now you can AB and sample it like on the phone, because even when I used to like jump between like checking masters and I have to jump between one thing and one thing on the phone, it would just mess with my head.
I have Ohad basically put my mix underneath the master in Samply,
So
so
you
that
can just
when I get
AB
the master, I can just AB my own mix against it and just check it.
That
nice
feature's
to do.
insane.
Makes a lot of sense.
That
The
feature.
AB shit is insane.
I got to get with the sampling thing.
I was going to say, for those of you that don't know, what is sampling?
Samply is like
It's just a file sharing thing. It's like it's how you send mixes out, so you can like, so if mix one make this revision, it just gets stacked. They can send notes back to you.
They can write notes.
But you can do like
And they
crazy
can
shit.
on the
Like
time
you can like set your bounce factory to bounce out your every song on your on an album and automatically upload it to Samply on it. You can do crazy shit.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And,
It's like,
and for ads.
it's for us. It's for audio.
It's a share mixing. It's basically share mixes.
Hey,
Yeah.
But it's cool because you can like stack older versions underneath. But on most of these things, when you play an older version, it would just go back. There was, the playhead would go back to start, but this keeps it. So you can do like a real time AV, which is huge.
And there's like a half a second time because of the internet. Because it's a WAV file, so it's 2 WAV files that are loading. It's like it's gonna take you a second.
Oh yeah, it's not like instant, but
It's not instant like when I'm at home and I hit the A B and it's instant because
or Shift S.
It's as fast as you can get it on a phone.
That's
Yeah, I got to get with that. I've seen that. People have sent me stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm about to switch.
Faster. What do you use to share?
I've been using Box for a long time.
Oh,
Not just a Dropbox, but Box.
I know, yeah. But Box is good. The labels love Box, but like Box is good for like. I feel like this is good just for mixes. Box you can use for sessions and all that stuff as well for files. You can't do anything else with this. Is good for mixes and it plays at most too.
Yeah, and I think
the best thing is the stack. Like in Box, when you add a new mix, it's either next to it or you delete the other one. This stacks it so that at any moment they can break out 5 mixes and A/B all of them.
Oh God, I don't know if I want that.
I think you can just
to mix one.
delete whatever you don't want.
I know. I mean, no, I'm kidding. But yeah, typically my process now is like, if everybody's like, okay, chime in, notes on mix 2. Okay, when I go to mix 3, a lot of times I just get rid of. I'm just like, we're moving forward. You know what I mean? Because clearly that won't it. So let's just move forward. If they downloaded it and they're like hanging on that one, then fine. But also, I don't want confusion. I have a lot of people. They get into the group chat and they play the wrong shit, and then they hear the wrong shit, and they're like, I said to fix that. It's not fixed. Then we're like,
no.
And then we're on another group chat saying,
fired.
Everybody calm down. They're listening to the wrong mix. It's okay. Yeah. They'll notice in a minute, and they'll play the right mix, and then everything will be fine. Everybody calm. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, I've gotten in the habit of just getting rid of it. You know,
or it sometimes it messes up and it'll swap the order. That's happened to me too. Then I'll call up to delete everything else except for the latest. It's definitely messed me up before too.
Yeah.
And there's always the question of like something with like Samply is like the converter and the conversions of your phone, and like how do you guys?
I mean, you can send a wave. I'm actually more afraid of texting a bounce because that does conversion. This way,
the .m4a, you can't do
That's the one thing.
Yeah,
that's the one thing is like I had this little thing. Do you guys remember the Apple droplet?
Yeah,
it was like a thing that would
M4A.
you would drop the wave on it, and it would drop the MP3 M4 into the same bounce folder where you pulled the wave from.
I know that.
Apple droplet converter.
Apple droplet, and it would basically convert it there. But the text message does something weird where like it converts it sometimes. And this is the reason that I went to Samply is a huge thing. Have you ever noticed when you send someone a mix and they don't know how to forward it? And they forward it by hitting the forward button and it sends it as audio 1, 2, 3, whatever. It actually compresses it into half of what it was. Basically, what would happen is I would send the mix as an M4A or whatever, as a regular thing, and they would forward it to the artist and it would go from 5 megabytes to 1.6 megabytes. So now the artist is listening to God knows what, right? So that's when I was like, I got to get Samply where they forward the mix and it's the same wave. You know what I mean? That's why I started
that texting shit. Like in that situation,
don't know how to do
whatever. It's bad, and like they're hearing a shitty mix, and whatever. It's not the end of the world. But when you have open verses and artists that is texting their buddy to get on the song, and they text the song, and then the shit compresses, and the timing now the BPM is 102 point some shit, and then you get the files back, and it doesn't. It's crazy.
That's why I send waves.
So annoying. Yeah.
So what other plugins we got this year? What's some new stuff y'all been using?
That what's that automate DynAssist?
That's cool as shit.
I heard about that.
That's replaced jobs.
That's how my place job, dude.
What does it do again?
It's an Aura plugin, so it just does
ARA.
It doesn't just. It's automation, gating, de-essing.
It's at the bottom where the
bottom next to Melodyne or vocal.
it's like you can make it
It's
into AI
itself.
Bro,
So you just highlight
Teezio, for you, this is gonna be life changing.
because when I'm trying to get S's, right? Like yesterday I was showing the French shit. There was like this S that was like this, and I audio suited it down so it sounded natural. Is this something that
It's basically like highlight the clip
and say
open it,
yes it?
but it's dynamic, so it can keep changing as it's going along. You can set it to do.
Dude, it's unbelievable.
It does.
And they actually have a
tell you
right here.
That's crazy.
That German guy over there.
It's
telling me
That
about it.
German guy?
Really cool. right by the entrance.
Is it like vocal writer for S's?
But it's on the clip, so it's before the first insert.
AR.
So it does it. So your first compressor is going to see a version with less.
Well, technically, when I'm doing the audio suite, it's happening also prior. So it's the same thing, but it basically, like, let's say I have a take that has a bunch of S's. Instead of going to this S, finding the frequency, dip it. Go to this S, I do a different dip, right? Because it's slightly different. This will read it.
All of them.
So
S is
exactly. That's
where
where
they
ARA. So
your
ARA
SSX dynamics.
like all of your our plugins are in real time, right? Audio passes through it, then they work on the audio. But ARA, it can foresee what's coming ahead of it. It looks at the whole thing
through the RAM or whatever, right? So it's like
it's very right? Like I hit commit
on the clip. Yeah, it's on the clip.
You committed.
It's like Melodyne, basically.
Well, you can
Melodine's
live.
Oh, so you can leave it live.
And then adjust
live and adjust it, and then
good.
It's de-essing with dynamics too, and then you just go in and you change one thing, and you see it. The de-ess a little much, and then it'll bring it back up, and you change it a little bit, and it'll tweak it.
I usually really gently just
go in and touch it up.
feed my chain.
At least just to subdue some S's, so that when you put the de-esser on, it's not like it's working 100, 100 Fs.
Yeah. But when ARA came out a few years ago, that's the first thing I thought. I was like, okay, it's cool that we can Melodyne, but I can't wait till I can Isotope RX and all these other things. And I was waiting for new plugins to use ARA. Because it's a crazy technology.
Wait, can you do EQ too? Like, let's say, you know how when you have a take and like one vocal, the guy goes high and has all those harsh frequencies, and then he goes back down, and you're like, okay.
That's built into Pro Tools already, though.
What?
In that section.
Clip effect.
Clip effect is what I
clip effects is what I use.
Yeah, so that, in this case, no.
This one, instead of committing, I know what you're talking about, the clip effects thing. I don't know about
Basically, the way I use clip effects is you can use any of these features.
And what de-esser does it use?
Its own one. So it's just volume.
Is it any good?
It's using an algorithm to find the S's, then pull the S down. Then it has a section to know that there's gaps between vocals. Let's gate that whole section.
Yes.
It's
but without like the stuttery gate.
Well, you can adjust the speed of the gate and how and the threshold.
I need that.
Dude, it's fucking amazing.
I need that.
Are you still using the Melda stuff?
Yeah.
What are your favorite Melda plugins?
His EQ is crazy. I don't even know if
what is it?
The M-Auto Dynamic. I don't even. He's got so many. Just try Melda's EQs and go on YouTube. I can't tell you what it does. It does too much. You can pick a harmonic and then get every harmonic after it, then pitch follow things. And
that sounds like shit Swivel would do.
Oh, it's right.
With the harmonics, with the nocturnal.
Oh yeah, even Nectar does it, but I use Autotune's EQ for that now, where it follows the vocal
like
EQ.
Surfer.
So exactly, surfing.
Does a Baby Audio have one that moves with the note now?
Oh, like a SurferEQ type?
The SurferEQ, the problem with that is the Q is way too wide.
So they fixed that in Autotune, the vocal EQ. That's
because
why
sometimes I need a sharp Q to move, not a
for vocal it works.
Q to take out, like, it's too much.
I think SurferEQ is more for instruments and stuff, like with like bass and stuff. You want to
where you want it a little wide.
SurferEQ would miss sometimes, or would like jump, do the weird.
Yeah, I can never see that one to do it. But
the Q width was a problem. Sure,
I saw some shit that I saw from Guru. You can like actually use SurferEQ in a different way to like boost.
So it'll do the opposite. It'll boost it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So like for 808s and stuff, you can.
That's what I do on bass.
Yes, I
use Answer as the vocal EQ.
That's what he was just saying. The Antares one,
the
right?
best one that's out now.
If the mix is done and it's like, like you said, just want to shift everything a little bit like that. Tilt plug-in with the auto makeup gain so it compensates.
So use two plugins.
Actual tilt. Use the bell and a
tilt in the middle. But
Ryan said we put it all in one. Baby.
This should probably sound better.
Yo, shout out to Make Believe, Ryan Harvey and Rick Carson as well, making cool shit this year. Those are the two top. Mixwave and Make Believe are like the top plugin creators right now.
That Chris Geringer one is pretty cool, huh?
It's heavy-handed, bro.
Also, I know
that thing will get you fired if you hit it too hard.
Was it you telling me about Speccraft?
Oh yeah,
it was you.
Yeah,
Speccraft.
Speccraft and like the combination of Speccraft and Ozone has Spectral Shaper, which I use that.
So the people that made Speccraft also made the Kirchhoff.
Exactly. I use the Kirchhoff a lot. It's basically like the Pro Q on like meth. And coke.
It's smoother, right? It's like a little smooth.
You can basically like pick. You can just say you pick an EQ curve, but you can be like, I want it British style, or I want it like that.
I think it's just curved, though, not harmonic.
It's just curved.
It's just curved.
You can get really creative with the curves.
I've gotten to this place where I'm like, the visual stuff, I try to do the least amount of visual plugins as possible.
See, I'm the opposite, but we come from two different times. Like I don't use the mix window. Like if I see the mix window when you accidentally hit Apple,
I don't use the mix window either.
I'm like, what the fuck is this?
I'm all edit window. I'm no super tool because my hand's like, well, I'm crazy. Like his mouse is so sensitive, I can't use it. But so no super tool, all edit window. but I prefer like stuff like the AVI 560 or like the SSL clones or like stuff like that, where because I'm just like close my eyes, I'm just grabbing, I'm like,
So that's what I'm like visually looking to see what I hear. Essentially, it's like,
I get scared because I got into that and my shit started sounding like not as good. So I just like went back to the way I used to do it before all the visual shit came out, and my shit, like, I feel better about it. Like just like simplicity, basics, fundamentals, things. But whatever you're doing, keep doing it because
I think yours is
absolutely immaculate.
I think that, like, I've noticed that you're very intuitive, but also you're like a real music fan. Like you listen to all genres, you listen to all stuff. So it's very intuitive for you. That's probably why, like, it's very innate.
Also, I just think those guys that design that old gear that we model now, like when you get a good model of something old, it's like if they nailed it, like. Because all that old stuff, like they didn't have a lot of RTAs and stuff when they made it. They had to use their ears. So they had to switch out diodes and resistors and transformers and blah, 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 blah. And they had to do all that by ear. And they like made these classic designs that just kind of like are tuned to acoustic instruments and tuned to music. And it just kind of works. Like the 560, you have such limited bands, but you get into that thing and you start pushing and pulling on the same frequency, you can make crazy curves with it. And it'll just take something that sounds like real muddy and kind of like blah and just make it just like... and just like get tight.
Yeah, it's fair. That's one of the things.
And I look at what I'm doing, I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, but it's crazy. Like that one song I showed you, you were like, you put that shit on the mix bus, you're like, and we took it off and it sounded better, you know?
That really blew my mind. And ever since then, I've been using that a lot. I I won't even think about it sometimes. I'll do exactly what you do. I shut my eyes, I'll do the pull push thing till it sounds happy. And I'm like,
what plugin is it?
It's
the AVI 560 UAD.
Yeah, it's the UAD version.
The graphic EQ.
Yeah, amazing.
It has it's like gives you a lot of harmonics, you know, like when you're boosting things. And, you know, it's like now I think in harmonic shaping as much as EQing, because it's like the stuff that's too glassy and too clean. Sometimes I'm like, that's good for a lot of situations. But then sometimes you just like, this is dull and lifeless. I need to add excitement. And it's just like the Mixwave Pultec is good for that. The CA70 is good for that.
Those
and then you just add a bunch of harmonic shit and then just kind of like shape it with some others.
Yeah.
But anyway, you know, we all do the same thing. It's just how we get there. You know, it's like, but yeah.
Let's talk about some shit we don't like. What's been bothering us lately?
Ooh. I think it's a lot of the same these days. A lot of the stuff where like I get a lot of the same song again and again to mix. And it sounds like I feel like I'm mixing the same song again, and then once in a while you get an artist, you're like, oh whoa! Like when Big X was that for me, I was like, all of a sudden I'm like, this is different. I like this. I'm in this again. But then it's a lot of the same. And like I feel like that. I'll be cool to see like different stuff,
new stuff. Yeah,
non-political one. I thought of it. Someone that masters something that already sounds good and doesn't need mastering. I fucking hate it. Like it's loud enough. And now it just sounds crushed. Like it was there.
I think the reason I send it to mastering when it's really loud is not for them to get louder or smush it. It's just to like make sure my true peaks are good and everything.
That's fine. That's you sending it though, so you still have control. You still have to communicate. I'm talking about a label. You've delivered something. It's like minus that because the rough around there. You've got it to sound a good version of that volume.
Right.
Fine. And then they send you back. Oh, we had it mastered. Have a listen.
Yeah.
And inspires their friend.
100%. That's why I'll use Ohad, because he doesn't do anything. He just runs it through his gear. That's it. You know what else I hate? I hate following demos that sound like shit. And then they're just like, we want it to sound like the demo. And then I actually had a mix where I made it all big. And they're like, it's too big. Like, I was like, you want me to turn down my mix? Like, just go, like, lower it, dull it, lower the like, that's what you want me to do? And they're like, yeah, like we want it to sound like the demo. And the demo sounded really bad. And I made it sound like what I think the record should sound like. Yeah. And I literally was sitting there pulling my hats down, dulling the drums a little bit, bringing the drums to not knock so hard. And that's what they wanted.
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten that, you know, that with the boss lady, like I've gotten the note, it's too mixed, it's too pop, it's too this, it's somewhat like the demo. We've all got that. It's all more the demo. And it's like, if you get to do the demo, then it's a little bit better. But sometimes it's like, it really put pressure on me to make sure my day ones, like all my day one rough mixes, like when I track something, it says day one on it. And like, if I ever get lost or like, what's the vibe when we did it? What were we feeling when we were doing it?
Right.
When the juices were flowing, then you go back to that. And the feel has to match that. Now, A lot of times artists, like, as long as the feel is there, artists will be cool with a little more level, a little more width, or a little more whatever.
Yes.
That's a big one. I had to learn that shit hard with.
That's really important.
It's way too mixed. You know what I mean? Like, just
And
like
figuring out,
oh my God.
figuring out what they love about the rough mix is like one of the most important skills. Like,
And also, like,
change.
fans and artists, and a lot of people don't listen the way we listen. They need us
Yeah.
to do shit.
Sure, yeah.
But at the same time, it's so much about like, okay, like this is like I could really impress my engineer homies on this one, or I can make them happy. I want to make them happy, but hopefully I make everybody happy.
Yeah.
You know, and that's when it's a win-win.
That's when we get really lucky, when you can make yourself happy.
Yeah.
Everyone's happening.
Doesn't happen.
extremely rare. All extremely rare.
The part about all of this is I would literally take a Chris record that sounds like shit and I will change the feel, meaning like the drums are going to knock. The feeling's gone. The feeling of that relationship of just now it's knocking, and he has never in my life ever been like, it's just the feeling of the demo. He's only just been like, hey, there's a missing vocal, or hey, can you turn on my ad libs?
Yeah.
And I'm talking like you A/B the demo and you're like, it's a different
Totally
song,
different.
right?
But you guys,
he will
you
never
guys are-
care.
Yeah.
He'll never be like, oh, make it sound more like the demo. And that's the only client, which is ironic.
Well, y'all are
The biggest
kindred
hard-
spirits.
For sure. And maybe he trusts what I'm doing,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I am changing the feeling of those records.
Yeah.
It's not like other shit where I'm maintaining the feeling. I'm listening to the demo just to see, okay, is this harmony really loud or really low? That's what I'm listening for the demo, not like
Yeah.
use the kick feeling
Yeah.
and the snare. I'm just like, the kick's too low, the snare's too loud. Change all of that, and he's okay with it.
Absolutely.
And I love that.
And that's like the ultimate. When you have that relationship with someone, that's like, that's the
for
best
sure.
thing.
For
That's
sure.
the best thing. Do that. The trust is everything. You feel that trust.
Trust is everything. Well, guys, it's been an epic show. You guys killed it. I didn't have to do much. I just sat here and
Fuck, you weren't here
and,
the whole time.
fucking autopilot. See what I'm talking about? These boys are star-studded, top of their game, killing the game. Literally all the top charts is these guys right here. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to sit down with us and hang out, share some knowledge for the youth, the next generation coming up, and everybody out there. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Big shout out to Dutch and Dutch. Thanks for hosting us. And we out.
Don't forget to share, comment, like, and subscribe. And see you next time on Faders of the Lost Art.